Hello, everybody. My name is NBZ, and I will be your host for this next run. Before we get started, I want to tell you a little bit about our charity that we are raising money for. I Support the Girls provide a variety of kits for those in need, like ASH kits. That's ASH. These aid, safety, hygiene kits are customizable care packages that individuals can request directly from ISTG. Shipped to U.S. addresses, these kits include supplies for survivors of domestic violence, menopause kits for the homeless, and kits for folks that don't fit into the binary. So now you know your donations are going to a very good cause. We really appreciate everybody who has donated so far and everybody who will donate in the future. Thank you all so much. All right, it looks like grimsalad is ready for Final Fantasy X-2, but I'm getting some feedback on my headset. But it sounds like YRP in position. It's showtime, girls. It's showtime, girls.
Nicely done, Z. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing. 10 out of 10. Hi everyone, I am grimsalad. You can call me Grim. I go by she, her, and I love Final Fantasy. So we're going to be running some for you today. Some more for you today. I am joined by my beloved Lala. Please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone. Hi, I'm Lala. I also use she, her pronouns. I do not run this game, but I enjoy watching it, and every now and then I help Grim math out some stuff.
Yeah, we like getting into the dirt with these games. But we're ready, so we can do a countdown for the start. 3, 2, 1. Now it's showtime, girls. And we're starting with a musical number. Lala, I don't know how much you wanted to talk about the actual story of the game.
I mean, I can help fill in at points, but
well, we can start with
keep up with this a lot of time.
Yeah, fair. Well, so if you play Final Fantasy X, it's a world that's very much steeped in misery and people are incapable. You can't really live in that type of world because every time you find some piece of joy, this horrible monster named Sin comes and kills your family, destroys your hometown, that kind of thing. So it's a really miserable world, and Final Fantasy X-2 takes place in a world where Sin has been defeated. So now it's just about pop music and joy, basically. And
yep, we got our little girly
party.
We're here to rock out and have some fun.
Yeah, this is one of the most iconic intros of any Final Fantasy. I'll let you guys enjoy the opening number.
So good.
This is the Summoner Yuna, but wait. It's actually the pop star Yuna.
So fabulous.
Jill loves the Kumi Koda version. It's very good. Oh yeah, I neglected to mention, we're playing this in Japanese, not English, and we'll get into why that's different beyond language as we get into it.
Grim, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the one cutscene in the entire game you can't skip, right?
No. We can... There are other FMVs that we can't skip as well, such as...
Okay.
Spoiler, there's another concert in this game.
Oh, that's right. I should know that. But yes, unskippable, so every time you have to reset the game, you get to sit through this 3-ish minute intro video.
Yes. Oh no. In the HD remaster of this game, you can skip it, but I'm like, why would you? We're getting introduced to our cast here, our all-girl cast. We've got Yuna, we've got Riku, who you'll remember from Final Fantasy X, and then we've got the bad girl, Pain. Who is she?
And then right after the cutscene, we dive right into it.
And what are we diving into?
A battle.
Wait,
Right off the bat.
why are we fighting our hot friend?
Clearly she's gone evil and we just need to take her down.
Riku's telling her to give it back. Give what back? Alright, so right away we're gonna try to take out Yuna. Oh shoot, I actually did the wrong thing, but that's okay. I meant to take out one of the goons with that very good opening ATV that we got, but I was just...
You were
so
ready for
eager
the basic normal strats.
I was eager to take out my girl.
I love Jill's theory that it's just that Yuna's been drinking too much and it's like, girl, we gotta go home. She wants to stay out and party, but...
The bar is closed, girl. This
So
might
one
be a
thing you'll
good time
notice-
to explain. Are you gonna explain chaining?
Exactly.
Yes. Oh my
Same
God,
brain.
same wavelength.
So, you'll notice that when attacks are happening in a fairly, like, close proximity to each other, you'll see the little yellow 1-chain, 2-chain popping up. What that's actually doing is that it's adding a small multiplier to the damage. So that is used later on in some battles to actually build up some damage. It also helps with stunning enemies, which comes into play a lot.
The first
One
chain
thing
is
to note
actually
here-
substantial. It's 1.45 times. And then after that, it's
And then-
5% more damage. So
Yeah.
the initial chain is pretty huge, actually, in terms of damage increase.
So in that first battle, we stole a budget grenade. Very important item.
I actually didn't even see if we stole it.
I didn't either because I can't read it.
I mean,
And
I
I don't know
can't...
what symbols we're looking for.
Yeah, the fun thing about not, like, knowing much Japanese is I just kind of have to look for characters that I recognize. And if I'm a little distracted, I might not pick up on it. But it's okay. We'll have plenty of time to get grenades throughout the run.
Yeah, there are plenty of other places. So this is where we're introduced to some of our recurring villains of the story, Ormi and Logos. They also have items that we want to steal from them. We're just using those items
stole the silver glasses.
Nice.
I'm also doing a
just use those
terrible
items.
job chaining here.
We sell those items. They're just for money later on. If we fail to steal, there's backup options, so it's not too big of a deal, but it just saves a little time if you get them in the battle.
And now we find out what is going on with Yuna.
Keeper, I don't know what you're talking about. There's no booms in this version of the game.
Wait, what? Who's this? So now we've got the real Yuna with us. And we are fighting LeBlanc, an iconic, also, like, there's so much female presence in this game, which feels very appropriate for this marathon. We're gonna cast Darkness Dance because we're basically forced to. And we're gonna try to chain attacks on LeBlanc, and hopefully we will be not seeing a spell called Thunder.
And so what we actually saw happen here was Yuna changed her dress sphere from her gunner that she was previously to dancer. And that's a big part of the battle mechanics of this game, is your different dress spheres.
Mm-hmm.
You can essentially think about them as classes from other Final Fantasies.
With a magical girl kind of twist.
Yep. But the important thing is that you can change them in the middle of battle. It's kind of the precursor to the battle system of 13, in which you had your paradigms, but in this case, each character changes individually rather than as a group.
So now we are ending up on the, what is it? It's called like the Celsius. I always forget the name of this thing. The Celsius airship, or the Fahrenheit. Was that in Final Fantasy X? It's an airship that we frequently, very frequently, will return to in a way that is sometimes confusing for runners because you're here and you're like, wait, what part of the game am I even doing right now? I talked to Riku.
No. You're supposed to talk to brother here, right?
Yes. It's alright, it's a bit of time loss. We're just padding the time a little bit.
Well, as we
We
lose
just
some
wanted
time,
to talk to our
I
friend.
can't skip this,
Would-
can I? Dang.
would now be a good time for a donation.
Go for it,
Yes,
Z.
please.
All right. Well, so we've been doing all this battling. You know, hopefully we'll win the war, and that war is the horse war. So we have $5 from somebody named Lala.
What?
Who says war horse for the horse war. And that goes toward, obviously, the war horse for the Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. Choose our trusty steed. Incentive. So thank you, Lala.
I think this would be a good time to mention that for every donation during this run, including $1, you will all get an attempt at a hole. Let me see if Lala got a hole.
On hold.
It sounds like you didn't get a hole.
That's too bad. I guess I'll just have to keep throwing donations in there.
Yes. So if you guys would like to start a $1 donation train, whenever I have a free moment to go spin the wheel, you have a chance to get a rare sound alert.
So holes play a big part of the game later on, and it's a tradition in Grimstream of having point redeems, and you get a random chance of getting one of these hole clips, and so Grim thought to bring that over, and that's what we're doing here. So while Grim is going through, do you have anything you want to talk about this, Grim, or should I talk
Not
about
really.
our fun movement?
Yeah, I'm just changing them all to thieves because they'll be super speedy like this.
So one fun part of this game that we just kind of encountered here on the ship for the first time is the horrible movement.
Oops.
In general, the movement is based on relative to the camera. So if you press up, you're going whatever is up on your screen. But when the camera transitions, we've seen it pan around a couple times. If you're holding a direction, Yuna will continue to move in that direction. But as soon as you move your joystick off of that direction, it immediately reverts back to being relative to the camera again. So if you're holding up, and up now becomes left because of the camera change, and then you
so disorienting.
shift right a little bit. All of a sudden, you're going off in the completely wrong direction, and it's annoying.
If you've played this or Final Fantasy X, you'll know because even playing things casually, like you're like, what is this camera? Where is Tidus or Yuna going? Like,
also very annoying is that the movement lock can happen between scene transitions as well. So sometimes when you're coming out of certain scene transitions, you need to make sure that you are wiggling the joystick so that it is accepting the proper direction.
Yes, so you don't go in the opposite direction that you intend to go. We picked up just a yellow ring there. You'll see us picking up some various things, stealing various things, and that is just so that we'll have enough money to get a charm bangle, which means that we won't get any random encounters pretty soon, unlike ceaselessly. I don't know what the final count was there.
We crossed the 50s, I know that much.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty typical.
I have another donation if now's a good time.
Please.
I have a $6.66 donation.
Interesting number.
Keeper BK, who says, Horse War! War? And that goes toward Pestilence in the Red Dead Redemption.
All right, here is your sound redeem. No hole.
No hole. But I do have another one.
All right.
All right, I have a $1 donation from Sparky Petunia, who says, can't miss my daily hole attempt. Thank you, Sparky.
Right, we got our steal from Logos, so we can beat him up. Get him, girls. Get him. Oh, he's so slippery. Okay, he's dead. I mean, knocked out. Now we're trying to steal gauntlets? Yeah, oh, we're lucky.
Steals are going pretty well
Don't
for
touch
you.
her. Yeah, I should be better about chaining with my girls here. We can functionally stun lock Ormy. There we go. All right, Sparky. No hole.
Oh,
It's not a
no luck
scam,
so
I
far.
swear. The holes
Okay, so
exist.
at this point in the story, like we are sphere hunters, I think is what they refer to themselves as.
Yep.
So
It's like
from
a
Final
common
Fantasy
thing
X,
in this post-Sin world where people like go on treasure hunts for these old spheres, which are sort of like crystallized memories.
video recordings.
Yeah, because they can be video recordings. They could be like memories. They could be songs.
So these spheres are recording media, and people are going out and hunting them. And, it's like collecting vinyl.
Yeah.
And right now we've heard that there's a sphere here on Mount Gagazet, so that's why we're going here. But LeBlanc and her crew are also after the same thing, so we're racing them right now.
Yeah, I think at the top of the screen, there's a visual, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a good visual too. I love this game. All right, this is like a safety backup. I'm just gonna pick this up. It's another ring that we can sell just in case we need money for some reason. Another fun thing about this game is the platforming. I would say this was pretty revolutionary at the time. Sometimes the jumping is pretty wonky. I'm hoping we'll see some wonky unijumps today. But especially coming from Final Fantasy X, the ability to platform, as jank as it is, was mind-blowing when I was younger. It's still pretty mind-blowing as someone who doesn't really play modern games.
Yeah, if we're lucky, we'll see Yuna do some very nice hops and skip a few places. If we're unlucky, we'll see her jump places we don't want her to go.
Yes.
It's very hard to control.
Was this was our first random encounter? That's pretty good, actually. Okay.
So.
There'll be one more place that we can get random encounters. This is looking good so far. I'm gonna try to steal a grenade from one of these guys. There we go. Wait, that wasn't
Just
a
to make
grenade.
sure we have. Oh no.
Almost a Phoenix down. Yeah, it's just nice.
Those are nice to have.
It's nice to have them, and we'll explain why we like these area of effect items once we get to the point that we can use them. All right, a bit more platforming. I'm praying. There's no way to control it, but I'm praying for a wonky jump here. Okay, well, not that.
You got it. Just like the one you wanted.
I guess that counts. There are some when she'll fly like 20 feet into the air. We're gonna pick up a muscle belt here. We are actually not selling this. We like this because it's a big strength boost. And now we're moving on to our first boss fight.
We just leave LeBlanc and her crew there. They'll be fine.
They'll be fine. She's clearly strong enough to handle it. This is Boris. He's very cute, and this is a really good first place to practice chaining. We got these 3 thieves. They're super fast, and the window for the chains to actually like continue is pretty generous.
And this is a very good example of chain stunning, where this boss just will never get a single attack off if you do it correctly, because he's constantly getting these little flinching animations.
Yeah, and the flinch animation resets whatever action Boris has queued. There's a sort of readying up animation to do that, and he just never gets to do it. Which feels kind of mean, but...
Yeah, that's something good to call out as well. The fact that, so later on we'll see some dress spheres that have cast bars, so the bar needs to fill up before the girl can use that spell that she's trying to cast.
In this version, we won't quite as much, but there is a period where we will do a bit of fire spells with Yuna.
Yeah.
In the North American English version, there's a lot of spell casting.
Yes.
This one, no spoilers, but there's a little more gun involved.
But what you'll see happen is that after that cast bar fills up, then the cast animation actually starts, and if an attack interrupts during that cast animation, it has to reset. So it's not just an instantaneous once the bar fills up.
It's very annoying. All right, back to the airship. I don't know if anyone's confirmed the name of it. I think it's Celsius. It's so funny when you're a speedrunner and you just like kind of peripherally know the lore of the game at a certain point.
It is the Celsius, I just confirmed.
Yes, okay. So first we're gonna go down to the cabin to sell all the junk we've collected. And this will be our
Except
first
the muscle belt.
Except the muscle belt, thank you. And this will be our first time interacting with a Hypello. I'm actually gonna let the Hypello's dialogue play when we leave.
Hypello's in the chat.
Oh, that's so cute! They sound even cuter in the Japanese version. Alright, back to the bridge. So Shinra, this weird little kid who claims that he knows everything. It has analyzed the sphere for us. Analyzed our treasure. And he says it's junk, but we can use it as a dress sphere, and it's the black mage dress sphere, which we don't actually use in this run. Great run, or sorry, great dress sphere, but we don't use it.
Features prominently in the North American run, right?
Yeah. Mash some text boxes. And we're going to the Calmlands. I need to not accidentally trigger like a dog race here.
That would be marathon luck right there.
Luck or like brain?
Both.
So the Calmlands, it used to be, in Final Fantasy X, this is where a summoner defeated Sin. And so, there's a giant crevasse here. It's a big open area for fighting a kaiju-sized monster. And now it is super corporate. They have like monster dog races. It's super unethical. It also has very corporate music that I claim to hate, but it's constantly in my head. And
yeah, this is absolutely hold music for some corporation.
I'm like, why do I like it? I hate it, but I like it. We'll buy 420 points for good luck. We're buying the Charm Bangle. That's what's going to get rid of our encounters. And then we're taking the hover to the travel agency. You want to explain the Charm Bangle, Lala, and why we love it?
Absolutely. So Charm Bangle is I'm gonna say it's the second best accessory in the game. The first best we'll be getting a little later.
Yeah.
But it gives us the auto ability of encounters none, which means we do not run into any random encounters from here on out as long as we have that item equipped, and we will never be taking it off. So every battle from here on out is a story battle that we have to fight.
We're truly blessed. So we equipped it, and we equipped the wristbands, which make our girls a bit stronger, and the muscle belt on Yuna too. So now that we have removed the random encounters, we're gonna head to Xanarkand, where we have heard of another sphere.
That's essentially the first half of the game is we heard about another sphere. Let's go
Yeah,
find it.
it's kind of like a Indiana Jones meets Charlie's Angels type vibe, I would say. And Yuna is quite distressed to see that this place has been turned into a tourist destination, essentially. It's kind of like a holy site.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it, I think, based on what was originally in 10. It was a very religious place where people would go to pray and that kind of stuff.
Right, and this was the final trip of summoners, because this is where they would get their final summon to defeat Sin. It was sort of the last step on their pilgrimage.
And now it's been turned into a tourist attraction.
Such is the way. Everyone say hello to my dog. She has entered the room. She's staring. She's like, what are you doing?
Hi, Dasha.
We're gonna have a pretty big, dialogue. Like, there's not too much happening, so this would be a great time for donations if we have any.
I do not, but I would love to talk about our partner.
That would
Lady
also be
Arcaders.
perfect, yes.
Awesome. So Lady Arcaders, and this is really exciting for me as a Lady Arcader, it has an event called Out of Bounds Toronto, which is an in-person Women in Fem speedrunning event taking place on June 15th and June 16th. Folks will play games as quickly as possible, showing off their talents and challenging themselves. The event will also be broadcast online to their Twitch channel. Type !OOB2 in chat for more info. Just like Jill did. Thanks, Jill.
So even the kids are getting into the sphere hunting business. These kids are so adorable, I could die. They spent 15 gil on a clue, which actually does help us uncover the sphere that's here. It helps us get past the guardian of the sphere here. And they spent 15 gil on it. Did we determine how much that would be in real currency?
Oh, I think we did do the math on that at some point based on, what was it?
The cost of eye drops? Yeah.
Because you can get eye drops in real life, so we just kind of compared.
Like, okay,
I think it was a few
eye
bucks
drops
or something
cost
like
this
that.
much. How much is Visine?
That's incredible. I love that you all have done that math.
Yeah, of course. I did say we like getting into the weird, gritty math stuff.
You did indeed.
Sometimes it's not relevant to the actual speedrun, but...
So one fun thing to call out about those kids is that in the NA version, they are called the Kinderguardians, which is just a very adorable play on words.
Yeah. In this version, they're just kind of called the kids. There's no fun pun there. However, we can point out that, so I forget what the clue we learned from the kids was. We learned like 2 pieces, Sa and Ru, which is monkey. So we suspect that the password to get to the secret sphere is monkey.
We have another donation for you and a possible whole chance if you're ready.
Yes, I'm ready.
I have a $7 donation from Lala, who says, "Death has entered the war." And indeed Death has, because Death is now in the lead, with Pestilence falling behind by 34 cents. Thank you, Lala.
Alright, let's see. You got a hole! Congratulations.
Oh, I didn't even get to hear it. I'm not watching this. I'm watching the Discord.
The perils
Okay, I
of
got it,
the...
though.
You did. You did. Oh, I was supposed to avoid bumping into her to save a couple text boxes, but...
It's RNG manipulation for later. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
we'll say that. So these fights that we're having, no luck there. It's possible to get grenade drops from these fights too. In both the NA and Japanese versions of this speedrun, those are things that you like. We'll explain why once we're actually using them.
All these little glowing orbs are like people's souls, right?
Yeah, fireflies. Also, shout out for the dance that all the ladies working here are doing. They're just vibing. The kids found a treasure, apparently. Oops.
And I think that they believe that that is the actual treasure that they've been looking for, the treasure of this place. And so
Fair enough.
they're super happy.
I hope they got some eye drops. So here we're gonna confront Sid, Riku's dad, who is responsible for turning this place into a tourist destination. Riku's explaining, like, dude, you turning this place into a tourist site is like if we turned the remains of our blasted up home into a tourist destination.
The All Bed aren't like religious per se. They are like in 10 at least. They're the ones that have machines and robots and that kind of stuff.
They're a bit iconoclastic in the world.
So Sid came here and was just like, yeah, whatever, let's make some money off this.
Now we encounter a mysterious voice. Who could it be? Also, my dog's going crazy on a squeaky toy in the background. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not too distracting. So this mysterious voice is saying we're gonna need to give the password if we want the treasure. And Riku's like, yeah, it's monkey. And the voice is like, no, you're missing one letter. And then we pick Asaru, but that's not right. The right answer is Isaru, because this is Isaru from the first game, who was a summoner as well. But actually choosing the correct option... Sorry?
Right as we walked into Xanarkand, we talked to him as well, right?
Yeah, but his voice sounds completely different here. But so the fastest thing is to just choose anything except his name, because if you choose his name, there's a bit more dialogue, so it's faster to be wrong. Yeah, Sid, aka Eiko from Final Fantasy IX.
ザナルカンド遺跡はいつでも君たちを待ってるよ。
元召喚師もいろいろだな。
And unfortunately, in this version, we don't get to say that the meaning of life is to marry a Hypello,
Yeah.
which is the meme from the NA version.
Yeah, so in the North American version, like, the pun here is that Saru means monkey, but that's really close to Isaru, which is that guy's name. So they kind of make a play on that. That doesn't really work in English. So when we say that the password is monkey, he's like, no, what's the meaning of life? And then the options you can choose are just insane. It's like to marry a Hypello, the calm, more monkeys, which is honestly iconic options, I suppose, but very random.
So here we are, we found half a sphere over there. But
that is being protected by an actual guardian. Not Isaru.
Guardian beast.
So this is another chain stun lock situation. It's a little easier to drop the chain here, like that.
Never punished though. So to keep up the chain, you can't just mash through, you can't hold the attack button. There is some timing to it. I don't know that timing. If Grim wants to explain, she can, but you have to... She's looking for a certain, like, visual clue in each character's attack as to when to cue the next one up.
Yeah, sorry, I was super focused there. Everyone does it differently. Some people, like I know Keeper BK in the chat, who also runs this game, looks at the ATB bars that you see at the bottom there, the green bars that fill up. I actually look at the chain damage that pops up. I can't really... Some people go by the sound of the girls attacking as well. Kind of seems like everyone you just kind of get a vibe for it. It's hard to describe because different things work for different people. And now we're bemoaning the fact that it's only half a sphere.
すっきりしないな、も
Rika
Oh, yeah,
just sits
keep-
down to chill.
Me. Me after a long day. Back on the airship again. So now, to be honest, I don't actually know why we're going here. I don't remember. But we're going back to Besaid, which is Yuna's home, actually. This is the first time that she's been home since she left in Final Fantasy X.
We do end up getting a sphere here, right? So
We do, but that's not... I don't think that's why we came here.
yeah, whatever. The story doesn't matter.
So there's some reason. We're gonna talk to Lulu, who is allegedly heavily pregnant, but her character model is exactly the same.
All those belts just holds it in.
Oh, actually, maybe this is so. This is the. Is this the sphere? I don't know.
ひまりがガガテトさんで見つけたんだって。
What sphere is this?
I,
確かに。
is it the one that we just got?
I
The
think this is
broken
the
one?
I thought this was the one that Kimari found on Mount Gagazet, which is the whole reason Yuna began. The whole reason Yuna began her sphere hunter arc was
何か分かっ
there's this sphere that looks like it has her lover Titus in it. Titus, who let's say he isn't around anymore after Final Fantasy X. We're gonna take a nap here.
Oh, all three girls sleeping in. There was like one half kind of bed there and a couch. Sure.
Riku's just sitting on the floor again. That's fine for her. And now that we're here, we're gonna talk to Lulu again. And it seems that Waka is missing.
Waka is
Ohayo.
Lulu's husband, and
Baby
He's run off.
daddy.
yes,
So we have agreed to help find him. And the way we're gonna do that, because we actually have future knowledge, we're gonna go look for 3 ciphers that are gonna help us open a door. There are actually 4 ciphers total, but in the speedrun, the 4th one is too far. So we just guessed
Okay,
the 4th
so-
digit.
I am putting out that I am going to donate whatever your code is
5?
with the decimal place in there. So
Okay.
if it's 5000, I'm going to be putting in $50. Let's see what we
Damn,
get.
okay. So the best numbers to get in the context of this speedrun are 0 or 9, and numbers close to that, so a 1 would be good as well, because that just means fewer inputs as you're guessing. Ideally,
because each
you
time
would
you
guess
guess,
the
it
code on
resets to
first try.
0.
Right. Ideally, you would get it right on the first try, but that would never happen, right, game? I do like that we return here because it's so beautiful.
It's also very nice that we
peaceful.
don't have to do the mini game here
Right.
for the speed run.
Alright, here's our 3rd number. 7. Okay, these are not amazing numbers, folks. Five, 7, 2, 5, 5. My brain also gets so confused because you're like going in different directions. Oh, 5272. Okay, that's bad, really bad numbers, but it didn't take us too
Graham,
long.
Which horse is that donation going towards?
I don't know.
Death, war, pestilence, famine, or default?
Sorry, what are the options?
Death, war, pestilence, famine, or default?
War.
Okay. War's gonna
it's
scream to a
because
large lead here.
It's a horse war. Right. Here's another sphere. We weren't even looking for it. I think the story about this sphere, also, this is an attack, we can't stagger the boss, so I'm just gonna hold confirm. The story about this sphere is that Waka is anxious about being a baby daddy. He didn't really get to know his parents, and he thought, well, maybe if I can find a sphere of them that is allegedly in this cave, you know, maybe I'll get a sense for what I can be like as a dad. It's that easy. If there are any donations, this would be a good time because not much is happening. Besides Waka Waka's gonna resolve his baby daddy crisis.
I have I mean, it's gonna be really surprising, but I have a $52.72 donation from Lala, who puts that toward the war horse, and the war horse is now the leader in the horse war, and that puts us just over $850 raised for this event so far.
Yay!
Thank you, Lala.
Thank you, Lala, and thank you so much, everyone. It's such an amazing cause. I appreciate you all. And let's get that hull check. Oh! What the heck? You got the rarest hull! You got the Sid hull.
Now I have to go back and watch the VOD after this.
You are going to have to, yes. I've only heard that Sid line like twice on my own stream. It's very rare.
Okay, so we're coming up on my favorite part of the run, and I think one of Grim's least favorite parts of the run.
Back to the airship as usual. Lala, why is this your favorite part of the run?
Oh, did I? Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped ahead in my notes. Never mind.
Oh, I see. That. Okay,
we're hearing Killicut, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The lovely port town. This is also some of my favorite music in the game. It's so peaceful.
And this is a case of where we heard that there was another sphere here, so let's go get it.
I believe you. I'm like, is that true? Sure, more spheres.
I'm just gonna say it with confidence. And
yeah, I mean that's like generic. Even going to help Waka and like showing Lu the sphere of Titus, we think. We got a sphere there too, so. It's all about sphere hunting at the end of the day. Going into the forest. I'm gonna see an angry crowd. One of the central conflicts in this game is So in Final Fantasy X, there was the sort of like de facto religion of many people was Yevon, and that ended up being like extremely corrupt. A lot of lies involved, and people are sort of organizing themselves around two groups now. New Yevon, which sort of holds on to the past a little bit, the past order, and the Crusaders.
Youth League?
Yeah, like the Crusaders kind of became the Youth League now. And they were people who used Machina, which is against Yevon's teachings, allegedly, even though Yevon definitely... I'm gonna make a save here, actually. This is one of the first places our run can truly die. We're gonna give a series of passwords. In the North American version of this run, if you get this wrong, your run is dead. Because you get an item from answering these all correctly. You get a garment grid, which sort of enables the entire rest of that run. But here, it would just give us an extra fight. It would just be a time loss.
And the answer is based off of how many soldiers are present, right?
Yes. Whether it's like an odd or even number, I suppose. Yeah, so we don't care about those items at all, but we got them. All we need is gun, eventually.
Yeah, garment grids don't even really show up too much here either.
Nope.
So this boss here is super annoying. It's YSLS 0, YSLS 0 is its name.
I like Lala's interpretation of YesLes.
Yeah, YesLes. So if we get lucky...
We did get lucky because I totally forgot to enter an attack and it got staggered.
Okay, so that's like a 1 out of 12 chance to get this attack. That
it
allows
has
you to...
a really strong flinch on it, so even if you mess up your chain, it will not get an attack. Whew. I'm so relieved.
Other attacks that are more common, you can stun lock, but you have to keep your chain up almost perfectly.
It has to be completely perfect, because the moment that chain breaks, it will throw you a haymaker or some other horrible attack.
And then there's one attack that you just can't avoid, correct?
Nope. Nope, you can avoid the blast punch as well, as long as you have staggered it.
Got it. So it shows how much I know about the mechanics of these fights.
No, you're more than most. So this is Yuna and the other girls, because everyone knows her as the High Summoner who defeated Sin from Final Fantasy X, and she's like, actually, we're Spear Hunters now. And everyone just kind of stares like, okay. And that's chapter 1.
Okay, now this is
Oh,
one of
no,
my favorite
Lala.
parts, and one of Grim's least favorites.
Well, first we have a little bit of cutscene first. We're gonna show the sphere that we just got to Shuyan, to Shinra, the kid who knows everything.
スフィアの解析うまくいった？単なる映像スフィアだね。特別な機能はないみたいだし。
This is a 45-second unskippable. This is actually another unskippable FMV, so if there are any donations or anything, it's a good time.
All right. I do not have any donations for us at the moment. However, it does look like the whole sound may not be coming through to stream.
Really?
So, I think we might go to a quick BRB after this cutscene. We'll pause the timer, and then we will look into that to make sure that everybody gets their wonderful whole sound
Indeed. Should I pause and we can go to a BRB?
Yeah, that's great.
And we're back.
We are back. Hello,
All
everybody.
right. Welcome back, everyone. We just did a little audio balancing. And I'm going to unpause the game in 3, 2, 1.
でもあ君ね
So, we just saw a sphere that seemed to show Titus and some weird mechanical creature. But we don't care about that right now, because first we have to shove a nerd into a locker. Which I cannot believe is Lala's favorite part.
It's only my favorite part when I'm not doing it.
This is unironically, like, Oh, speaking of wacky movement, this is unironically the hardest part of this category. So normally you just have to shove these 3 colorful folks into the elevator, but we're gonna have to shove this little freak in there. First we gotta corner him first. Alright.
And the reason we need to do this is because this is what gets us the best accessory in the game that really just breaks everything wide open.
The camera does not help you here. If I let him go, by the way, he will run all the way back and I'll have to do it again. Oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah, so that middle
totally
section is horrible with the camera angles and needing to have precise movement. It's real bad.
Yeah, it's like Lala was describing at the start with how like wacky the movement is. This type of camera transition right here really amplifies the difficulty in moving Yuna. Alright, gotta get one more in there. Hopefully it behaves. There we go. All the nerds have been shoved into the locker and we got the catnip.
So, catnip. Like I was saying, best accessory in the game.
Not just for cats.
No. Essentially how it works is who's ever wearing it, if they are in critical health, any attacks they do will do max damage, 9,999. And that counts for anything that is single target, multi-target, multi-hit even.
And that brings us back to the bombs that we've been trying to collect, which are AoE damage.
So here we go, and we'll have Yuna getting crit and throw a grenade of some kind, and all of a sudden it's doing, 10,000 damage to everybody on the screen.
It can be the weak budget grenade from the start of the game, and it doesn't matter because it'll just be quad 9 damage on everyone. So from this point, the fights in the game will be us, like Riku and Pain, beating up Yuna until she's in crit. Ideally, she won't die in the process, and then Yuna just goes ham. And that is the critical difference. This is like what divides the North American and Japanese versions of this game, because in the North American version, you can't get the catnip that way. You have to get it all the way in Chapter 5 in one of the most horrible optional dungeons in the whole game. I should have taken a break on this cutscene, but it's okay. We'll have plenty more.
We had to talk about catnip.
We did. So this is Yuna having a dream about her and Tidus and this, heavily influenced by the sphere that we were just looking at. She's having a nightmare that she and her lover Tidus are being hunted down and shot in front of this weird mechanical kaiju in the background.
I wonder if we'll see that mechanical kaiju at some point.
Who can say?
A Final Fantasy game having foreshadowing? What?
Final Fantasy game having a giant kaiju? So I'm gonna buy some Phoenix Downs here for safety. Because, yeah, sometimes in attacking Yuna, you do kill her.
Yeah, really, the name of the game now is HP management. It's not. We're not worried about damage clearly because Yuna can just do insane amounts of damage now. It's all about keeping Yuna alive and low on health.
Right, and that is actually a tricky thing about doing this in a marathon setting because save spheres reset Yuna, like it fully heals everyone, which is something that you don't want. So we'll probably be using save states here. Once we get to a certain point in the game. So we found this sphere with what seems to be Titus and this kaiju. And the kaiju looks really bad, so we're like, wait, that maybe we should like give this to, like, this seems like pretty critical intel. And we have to decide, are we gonna give it to like which faction? New Yevon or the Youth League? We decide to give it to New Yevon because we need to go back here later, and by giving them the sphere, we are on their good side. So when we come back to Bavel later, they will not beat us up. Now it's back to the airship, and a familiar figure is going to appear. Our Queen LeBlanc.
That idle animation is chef's kiss.
She is so slay. She is so iconic. Basically, she broke into the Celsius while we weren't here and stole our stuff. So now we're no longer spear hunting. Now we gotta get revenge. And how are we gonna do that? We're gonna bust into their hideout, and how are we gonna do that? Well, this is a game about dress up, so we're gonna go steal some uniforms to facilitate some dress up.
And we, with all of our amazing speedrunner knowledge, know that the first uniform can be found in Mount Gagazet, so that is where we're going.
Yeah, normally you need to kind of like go everywhere, and there'll be some hints.
Yes, Fizzy, we do that in the run.
Oh yeah, oh that is not optional. Maybe that should be a headphone warning too.
To turn your headphones up, yeah.
Yes. So here we are at Mount Gagazet. We've heard rumors that there are some LeBlanc syndicate members here that we can steal clothes from, I guess? Is that the intel that we were hunting down?
I don't know. We fight so many femme goons just everywhere. Why can't we just steal the uniforms off?
I don't know.
And yes, that isn't their names. They are called femme goons.
Yes, they have a lot of names. Like, so... Yeah, in English it gets translated to goons, femme goons, Dr. Goon, Ms. Goon. Just a whole goon family. The risk here is pretty low, but there'll be a save sphere coming up and we're already full health, so I'll probably drop a save. Once we hit that.
Oh, there's one. Let's follow it.
I don't know how this femme goon does not see us here, but all right.
He's taking that giant leap off the cliff, making a ton of noise. It's fine.
I don't know. We are pretty dainty with our steps.
いいのそんなことどうでもあそうだそれそ
Here the goons are gossiping about like how old LeBlanc is.
大変
All right, time to beat up Yuna. That is terrible. We're just gonna do that for safety.
Who is he gonna hit?
Yuna. Oh, and it kills her. Excellent.
Great. Well, at least now we know she'll be in crit health.
She will. She will. There we go.
So
It's always a bit annoying when you're trying to chain, because like we also can chain attacks from Riku and Pain on Yuna. And sometimes we need that in order to get her into critical health. We depend on that extra chained damage. And sometimes the chain gets interrupted because like an enemy will be attacking her. It's very annoying. Easy.
So that there was one of our grenades, right?
No, I actually used fire all there. I actually did
Oh,
not.
okay.
I did not check how many grenades we had. I should probably do that. So we got our first Syndicate uniform, and now when we go back to the airship, I forget, is it Riku or Pain? One of them is going to be dressed up now. You can tell from their animations which one it is. Ah, it's Riku. Now we go to Jose.
Again, using our speedrunner ultimate knowledge.
Yeah. We actually
So
go
that
here
we don't
for
have
two.
to search for it.
Yeah, we go here for two reasons. Well, one is just because we're gonna wait in line here. There's an actual queuing minigame. But we're going to sign up for a dig site because I guess we've heard of LeBlanc Syndicate activity out in the desert. So we're gonna get permission to do that. And then the road a little ways back from here also has LeBlanc Syndicate activity, so we're gonna get a uniform that way too. Queuing minigame defeated.
That queuing little thing has always bothered me because you don't wait after the person in front of you
I
goes in. You just
know.
run in immediately afterwards.
They're just
you don't wait for
gone.
your little ding.
The person in front of us enters and then they're just disappeared. They were not accepted for the dig site. Alright, so we're gonna go to the bridge where we're gonna get sniffed by this weird guy. There he is. He's gonna sniff us, but we're gonna skip the cutscene. We're gonna say yes, we do want to go dig in the desert, and we get a letter of introduction from him. But we're not gonna go to the desert. As I said, there's also LeBlanc activity just outside here. desert
Means
can
more
wait.
uniforms for us.
Mm-hmm. In the North American version of this run, where you actually do use the black mage dress sphere that we got earlier, and the garment grid that we got from answering all those questions in Kilika correctly. And this is the first time in the run that you use those in the NA version, but here we just light
Because we
everything
have
on
super
fire.
damage, we don't care. Yeah. And we haven't really talked about garment grids because we don't need to in this run, but essentially what they do is they're different formations where you can put different dress spheres, and different garment grids will have different special abilities associated with them. And so in the NA run, you get one that gets you access to the Wateraga, I believe.
Waterga, yeah.
If you like transfer through all of the different nodes on it. So that is a very powerful magic spell, and that
It's
gets used
very
through a lot of the
broken.
run.
You missed her? Oh my god.
Pain, please.
Okay, he's gonna shoot. Oh, bro. What?
Again?
You have got to be kidding me.
Pain just really doesn't want to hurt her friend.
Yeah, this is... okay, let's try hitting her once. I'm gonna have to hit her once more, maybe. Yes, okay. I'm being very careful here. Don't touch her. Oh my god.
No.
Army is such... This is looking very... Let's just pop a potion on you as well. Oh, this is so terrible.
So as I was saying earlier, it's all about HP management now. This is what you deal with through pretty much the rest of the game. It's
gonna have to just try
trying
to
to
pick
keep
up-
everyone alive.
Oh my god. I'm gonna have to just try to pick up Yuna and end this really quickly. Oh my god. I'm gonna try to grenade. I'm not sure if she's gonna live this. Please. Oh no!
Oh.
Oh, this is so scary. Okay, I'm gonna try to kill her. This is so scary, oh my goodness. Okay. Keep dodging, girls. Keep dodging, girls. Oh my god, I didn't even realize oh my gosh. Okay. Normally this does not go this terribly, which is why I'm a little flustered. This is normally such a fast fight. But at least we
Yeah,
took
got
out...
one of them pieces down.
Yeah, let's see what... Okay, well,
There we go.
perfect. That's honestly fine. Just... Jeez Louise! I was sweating! I didn't even think to save before this one. That's...
I think Jill's onto something here. We're just continuing the blurs.
All right, you know, we're gonna be
Earlier.
saving a little more carefully from now on. My gosh.
Made it through though. Made it through.
We got another uniform! Alright, back to the airship, and now that totally didn't happen. We're just gonna go to the desert, get our final uniform. And then we'll be ready to bust into the LeBlanc Syndicate mansion. Phew, indeed. I was legitimately sweating. There are a couple fights that like are quite scary. Just because like Yuna is sort of a glass cannon, right? And when you're going up against 3 different enemies that can be doing various things, it can get crazy.
So this is where that letter of introduction comes into play. We hand it over to this woman, I do not remember her name, and she says, "Oh yeah, you can go ahead and start digging." Cool. We're not gonna dig though.
Yeah, like we come here and then we just leave.
Say we want to help out.
When we come here, Nadala's like, okay, I guess you're the High Summoner. I guess times are tough for everybody. And maybe she's not surprised that we just immediately bail. Time to dig some holes, that's right.
I'm very curious why they chose to just put a glowing orb on the ground instead of actually like, doing a folded uniform that they could put down.
I thought maybe it was a sphere.
Oh, that makes sense, but also doesn't because the girls can share a single sphere between them.
Alright, that went... See, that's how the last one was supposed to go. Just cleanly get Yuna into critical health. And flame
Gas
everyone.
fire.
And that's 3 uniforms. Now we're all dressed up and ready to go.
I'm gonna go see Goddess LeBlanc.
Oh, this is not... Sometimes there are bits of cutscene where you're like, I should be able to skip this, but you can't. My notes are quite detailed as to what the case is, but... Alright, we're going to Guadosalam, which used to be the site of the Maester Seymour's mansion, and now it has been taken over by the LeBlanc Syndicate. They haven't really redecorated, surprisingly.
We're gonna sneak in with those uniforms and hopefully steal back our stuff.
I love these uniforms, and it also changes your run animation. I really enjoy it. Alright, so first, we're gonna go talk to Ormi and Logos, who do not recognize us due to our excellent disguise. And they're basically saying that their boss is acting real weird, and she needs some loosening up, and that's our job.
So, little warning for any of you that are on speakers right now and have other people around. Either turn them down or be prepared to explain what's going on.
It's just a soothing massage.
I like the way you think, crybaby.
Turning it up. This is actually something that you can fail, by the way, due to like factors totally beyond. You can do everything correctly.
それじゃ
There are sort of like proximity markers for where you're supposed to find the good spot on her back. But you can get very unlucky, and
聞いてないよ
and you can fail this minigame. In this version, it doesn't matter though,
何やってんだ
because we don't need the item that you get from massaging her perfectly on the first try. So if we fail this, we just do it again.
やるじゃないかいいねそこじゃな
So the yellow one means that it's going to be an adjacent spot.
いいね
Yellow, okay, yeah, yellow is adjacent, blue means it is not touching, and green means that it's diagonal.
いい
That's the secret to the minigame.
And that's about right, Crybaby. It's holes and massages is that's this game in a nutshell.
That does sum it up. We haven't even...
お前
Yeah,
We haven't seen holes yet.
No, we haven't seen our first hole yet. The game hasn't truly started.
Okay, so now that LeBlanc is out,
Yeah, she passed out, by the way. We were so good at giving a massage that she passed out. I'm just gonna I'm gonna cheat and make a save state here because we don't actually have a place to save before this. So just in case things go south. No, we took off our uniforms and now they can see. Woo! Okay, that interrupted our chain. That's not helpful. Oh my god. That wasn't enough. It can be so tricky. It can be so tricky. She's like so close. I'm gonna... great. That's exactly why I saved. I'm like hoping they just kill Yuna at this point. Alright, let's just try again. Yeah, okay. You know, that's fine.
there tends to be a lot of unit death in these runs.
Not usually this much. This is
This is exceptional.
Oh my. He just has it out for her this run. That is kind of typical though of Ormi. I'm just gonna... Oh my lord. Oh my lord.
Oh.
This is actually so dangerous. Let's get our girls up.
命中しないはずがない
Alright, that's...
Okay, that's kind of lame. Ormi started that attack before Yuna was even back up. How was he targeting her with it?
This should be okay.
I call shenanigans.
There we go. I knew I bought those Phoenix
recovery.
Downs for a reason. Yeah, this one's pretty tricky
甘く見
because
すぎたか
Ormi likes to do that shield bash attack that will pretty much always take out Yuna. sometimes she dodges it.
And
And
it
then
interrupted
the
your first
goons.
chain, right?
Yeah, so Pain got attacked, which interrupted the chain on Yuna, which kind of disrupted my plan of getting her into critical health. It requires getting her into critical health without her dying requires such mental capacity that I sometimes lack.
これ
It's high octane
盗
gaming.
まれ
But now she will be in critical health for the next 2 fights, and we gotta try to keep her alive.
人の
そう
Stop that. John.
Of course.
At least she'll have more health upon being revived here. There. This fight is not too scary because you can just quick attack them.
At this point, you have first strike. Which
Yes,
means that your
I
ATB
wanted
starts
to.
off at full. Yeah.
Yeah, that is really helpful for chaining the girls with them not being interrupted because we can take turns before the enemies can. That was something that we set at the very beginning in the first menu. We set them to learn first strike. Oh, camera.
Our good friend, camera movement.
I think the camera might be the worst in this location. All right, so we're unlocking the seal and then I don't know why this is here, but we run into it because it's faster. I don't know why this place is so extravagantly booby-trapped, but...
In my run of this, my playthrough of this, it took me so long to figure out what
this
to
makes
do
no
there.
sense. Also, we fall down, but then we end up there. It just doesn't
Yeah,
make sense.
you have to jump into that pit in order to get where you need to go.
Yeah.
Which, what?
I guess they ran out of space when designing. All right. Stealing our stuff back, finally.
Son, Yubi.
But we've been caught, so let's try not to die. We're gonna try to sort of like chain Ormi so Yuna can get this. Don't even think about it. We sort of try to like do a mini stun lock on Ormi there so he doesn't do a shield bash on Yuna. He was thinking about it. So now we're gonna watch LeBlanc has agreed to let us watch the sphere that we were gonna steal anyway. And I'm actually gonna run away real quick to take a pee break.
All right. Well, in the meantime, let me remind you all that you are more than welcome to donate. However, we also have t-shirts and stickers available. Every every shirt donates $5 and every sticker donates $2. So that is another good way to donate. If you want, you can type !merch in the chat. Also, we have our horse bid war, our horse war for Red Dead Redemption, Undead Nightmare, choose your trusty seed. Right now, War is in the lead with 57-72. And Death is in second with $7. So War is pretty far ahead in the horse war, but it can definitely be overtaken. So get your donations in, please, please, please.
Do you think people are incentivized by the very name Horse War?
I think so. I would be, personally.
I was.
I have been too. That's why I've been donating.
So, LeBlanc is our friend now? Question mark. She has invited herself onto our airship anyway.
She realized that we were better sphere hunters than her, and she wants to align with us.
And we've shifted. Now we're Oh, well, actually, you know what? I may as well save for mental comfort. But now we're shifting away from like, oh, we're sphere hunters into what the heck is this giant kaiju? So we're gonna go find it. We're gonna go find the giant kaiju. Which we have determined is underneath Bavel.
Which is why we gave them the sphere in the beginning.
Yeah, like,
Because
I
now
actually,
we're returning back here.
Did you choose to give it to the Youth League? Because I never have, so I don't even know, like, what the fights are like coming in here.
I believe I did in my run, just because I still had a bad taste in my mouth about Yevon from
Oh, yeah.
Fantasy X.
Naturally.
But I don't remember exactly what happens here other than, like, there's battles that you have to fight through.
Oh, yep, actually, probably these guys become encounters. And then they're like, no, it's chill. It's chill. You gave us a sphere. Keeper will never give up on pestilence. Okay. There's a pestilence fan in the chat.
Personally, I'm rooting for default, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Default's in last right now.
Yep.
The people love drama. Not enough drama in default.
I mean, technically default is the most drama because default has no special abilities on it and all the other ones do.
Okay, so I've never played the game. Could you explain what what's the purpose of choosing your horse?
I haven't played it either. Yeah, go for
Each
it.
horse has a different ability. I also haven't played it, but I've got the information in front of me. So, Death has something called Zombie Trample? Question mark? I don't know what that means, but
That
it
sounds
has it.
metal.
It also has infinite stamina. War has a fire ability and infinite stamina. Pestilence just has infinite stamina. Famine just has infinite stamina. And the default horse has no abilities at all.
That's almost, so that's like hard mode.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
My Little Pony gone metal. All right, so we just did a little puzzle that unlocked this. I don't even know what you call these things. They're
Elevators.
often, yeah, I guess they're often called like pedestals and things like that in the notes. But I'm like, I don't know what this is. What is this technology? Hover pedestal. So we're going to the depths of Bavel. This is where the Cloister of Trials in Final Fantasy X took place. And there are monsters here for some reason. We are again getting Yuna into crit.
During one of the practice runs like Grim was doing earlier this week, one of our chatters pointed out that the floors here give big 80s arcade vibes. And
They do! I can't stop thinking about that. It's such a nice aesthetic. It makes me think about like fountain soda drinks and stuff like that. And stale popcorn. So we got Yuna into crit on that fight pretty handily, and she will remain in critical health until the end of this chapter. So it's a whole lot of hold confirm. Thank God, because this is a really scary part of the run in the North American version. Okay, I was gonna pick up those Phoenix Downs, but I think I bought enough that we don't need them.
I don't know how many you have, but I'm gonna say you're good.
Got 9? Actually, maybe I will pick them up. You know, just, I can always buy some when we're back on the airship, but I don't. Why tempt fate?
Why navigate the airship when you can just grab them here?
Yes, and why tempt fate? You never know. Bowling alley vibes, yes! This is another one of my favorite areas. It's just so creepy. And we are finally coming upon our first hole. Here it is. There is a giant hole going even we're already in the Bavel underground and it goes even deeper.
So in Final Fantasy X, this is where the Aeons used to, like, reside.
Mm-hmm. This would have
Summoner
been, I
would
think,
come in.
this would have been Bahamut, right, at Bavel? I think this is where the Faith
Yes.
statue would have been. Mm-hmm. And now there's just
But
a big
something
old
has
hole.
dug up from underneath, or they've dug down and stolen the Aeon.
What's all this then? This area has a lot of puzzles that we just pretty much bypass all of it. We are,
North American version
however,
has to go through it, but we
yeah. I am going to try to steal some S-bombs here. Oh, oops, I should have let that go through. There we go. So we got
Hey,
one
I saw that S. I know we got that
Yeah,
one.
you just have to look for the S for S-bomb. And usually, okay, I'm glad I did that because there's like a 50% chance from each of those enemies to get an S-bomb drop as well. Getting 0 is like a 25% chance, kind of unlucky.
Oh look, it's our friend back from
I'm
the
actually
save.
realizing, I think I might need to find a backup. Did I use all of my grenades? This could get very
We
spicy.
did use a couple
Yeah, let me
of them during
check.
some of those spicy fights.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I still have something.
Here we're
So-
just running around activating some of these little pylon things that sets up essentially stairs for us to get down into this other hole.
It's holes all the way down. One more I don't exactly know what the puzzle is here. You just go to the ones that are lit up.
Yep.
I think there might... I'm pretty sure there's an additional puzzle here where you can get to another exit that gives you an item.
Oh,
There's a lot of like
I didn't
optional...
know.
There's a lot of optional items that you can get through puzzling here.
I missed so much stuff here in my playthrough.
That's a good biography title, Holes All the Way Down. Yeah.
Easy boss.
Very easy. That fight is not too bad in the North American version either. It's not a typical dying point. The next boss that we're doing is like a somewhat typical dying point. We're gonna be fighting Barrel Eye, who has been possessed by someone, clearly.
We don't know much about Barrel Eye at this point, right?
He's the praetor of New Yevon, so he's like the leader. I think that's pretty much all we know about him. And he's... Oh, we got a really cursed unit jump. That was cool. I was hoping we would get at least
herself
one.
into the air.
Yeah. Aw. We're blessed.
And nothing in this place even makes sense. Why you have to step on these pillars to extend a walkway? Like,
It
who
just
designed
works.
this place?
Well, what about this?
This
Like,
machine that...
Well, I was saying recently, like, it's called the Turning Machina puzzle in all the speedrun notes, but if you look at it, like, that is some kind of prison system. Like some kind of panopticon for, like, moving prisoners around. I'm not a fan. This is also a puzzle. This is typically something that you solve to get the Dark Knight dress sphere, which is very strong. But we are even stronger, so we don't care.
Yeah, the NA version uses Dark Knight heavily for one of its abilities that... you essentially sacrifice yourself and do twice your
You do
max
twice
HP in damage?
So we also here get, like in the North American version, there is a, it's a garment grid that you can get where if you rotate all the way around, you get double HP. And Dark Knights are already pretty beefy. And then you use the Karen ability to blow yourself up, and that goes based on your HP, so when it's doubled, you do a lot.
That's how you get the quad 9 damage in the NA version.
Exactly.
Here we just catnip everything.
I liked using Dark Knights casually too, just because they have so much HP.
Yeah, they're very tanky.
And they're just cool looking. All right, we're going to where we thought we saw in the video with the kaiju.
It looks about right.
The kaiju is nowhere to be found. Instead, we have an old friend coming to visit us. It's Bahamut. He hates us.
But he's changed. What's happened to you, Bahamut?
We don't have a chance to ask because the unit just instantly one-shots him.
してかな。とても君に
So this is the
会いたい
point where we realize that the Aeons that were the summons from the original game have been corrupted
さっ
somehow
きはありが
and
とう。
turned into Dark Aeons, and we have to
戦わなきゃ
stop them.
だよね。こんめぐあれ
And that's another
ない
hole.
みたい。
A giant hole in the wall from something that has escaped.
早い。お前。ベグ。私の体震えてる。永遠の何説。それが足元から崩れていくような気がして。
And that is chapter 2 complete. I'll save here for the mental comfort.
And while we're saving, I just want to remind everybody that there is a chance for a secret whole sound clip to play whenever you
Yes.
donate $1 or more. Please get those donations in. And I would love to see us hit $900 by the end of this run. We're $50 away.
And you can always put it towards the horse war at the same time.
Yes,
Horse
let's
war,
get default
horse
up there.
war.
We're gonna be seeing more holes in this game, so get those donations in. So we're going back to Besaid because there are monsters pouring out of all these temples that we visited. So we gotta figure out what the heck is going on.
And pregnant Lulu's here, so we have to go protect her.
Yes, we're gonna go ask her, like, what is happening?
ジン。でもだ。さい。逃げた。わかる。
Once again, we have to go save Waka. He went into the temple to help, but he's an old man
いい
now.
のよ。ユウナの。
Even though his character model hasn't changed at all.
Yeah.
何してるの？
Shinra is also setting up these strange little sphere bubbles everywhere we go from this point on. And those are basically like webcams that he's setting up that we're going to check in on later. He's bringing Wi-Fi to the small seaside community of Besaid.
But then secretly using it to spy on everyone.
Yeah. It's
Typical
fine.
Shinra.
It's fine. It all starts here. So we're going in, we're looking for the source of these fiends so we can protect the village. We find Waka, who's winded before he even found anything. He's literally didn't even make it down into the inner
Same,
cloister.
Waka, same.
Yeah. Honestly, same.
That feels like the walk that was in my 10 playthrough. I did not see much use.
Really? I feel like I kind of used everyone the way it encourages you. Yeah. Let's go.
Shut up, Waka. Let the girls handle this.
We got this. Hopefully.
Yuna's just gonna slap it, and it's gonna be over.
All right.
Ooh,
One
got
shot?
the Yuna kill in
Yeah.
as well. Nice.
So I actually meant to do that in Bahamut, but totally spaced out. That's another place you can do it. We want to start reducing the experience that Yuna earns, because then we'll be able to, in end game, her level will be, you know, like maybe 1 level less. I don't know if 2 is possible, but her max HP is going to be lower, while the other girls will be leveling up. And so they'll just have an easier time getting her into critical health.
And it looks like we do have a donation. We have a $1 donation from Captain Ahab that says, "Let's go, girls."
All right.
Captain Ahab.
Let's
See if you get your whole sound.
No dice, no hole.
Oh. Oh well, I guess they'll have to try again.
I guess so. All right, now we're gonna go to Kilika, which also has fiends pouring out of the temples. We are going to sneak into the temple with the help of Donna, another icon from this series.
Oh yeah, that despair emote, that's from Grimm's, what is all bosses Final Fantasy 9 run?
Yeah,
Where you have
run...
to collect frogs?
Yes, you have to get 99 frogs, and it is quite despair-inducing. This is a minigame for sneaking past the guards here. We don't care. We're just like, okay, let's get caught. If you fail, if they spot you, you just keep running.
That's the best type of minigame where it just
I
doesn't matter
know,
what you do.
Very existential. It doesn't matter. Alright, so we skip this scene, and now we are going to observe a series of angry crowds. Unskippable.
We got some raiders.
Oh my gosh, hello, raiders.
Welcome in, Gala and Raiders. Welcome in, everybody.
Welcome to Final Fantasy X-2. Thank you so much for the raid. We're just investigating some angry crowds right now. So we're basically totally blocked by these various angry crowds. This one always makes me laugh.
I love it sounds like a crying child that you just hear in there, and you're like, why is there a child in this group?
I don't know. And then we remember that Donna told us that we can sneak in if we just... That's a huge jump, by the way.
They're super powered at this point.
They have frog legs.
No, blue mages have frog legs.
Okay. So we have snuck most of the way inside. No one's blocking our path now. There's Shinra to the right, placing another Wi-Fi device. No one's questioning him. They're all excited about their free Wi-Fi.
No one questions kids. That's why the kindergartens were allowed to run around in the temple that had
That's true, with
monsters.
no supervision. Alright, we're gonna have a series. So ultimately we are, again, spoilers, going to fight an Aeon that has been changed. But before that, we're gonna have some trash to fight, and that's nice because that means we can get Yuna into critical health in a safer environment. These things. I think they were in Final Fantasy X with a different name. Here they're called divas, which I love. Ah, that wasn't quite enough. To Riku. Oh my lord. Alright,
Riku. She got a little overzealous there.
they might be a little low, honestly, from that one fight. Thankfully, I've actually never seen them cast anything before, thankfully. They don't do much. I was expecting something a little more hard-hitting. So we fight a bunch of them, and it is just, oh god, I hate their teeth. They have like very human teeth. But this is a very hold confirmed situation.
We have Yuna in crit now. We're ready to go. Just send her in.
At least we don't have to do any cloister puzzles. Yuna's idle animation is so sad. She looks so tired.
And there's more.
One more. Wait, there's two more. These things do not do... I mean, I guess their spells aren't very powerful anyway, but the only thing they do on their first turn is haste themselves, so... not a lot of danger here. I would like to think there's not much danger on this coming fight either, but, you know, let's just make a little save state, you know?
Just in case.
Just in case.
We've seen how some other fights have gone earlier, so...
Yeah, you think it's safe, and then suddenly it's something you've never seen before.
Ifrit with his tassels.
I really like this design. There we go. It's pretty easy, you just need to make sure that you really quickly cue the kill from one of the other girls on Yuna. Because you will not be able to cue it once she has hit Ifrit. It's another hole! I don't know if we have any more hole donations, but this is your reminder, chat. $1 or more donation, and you have a chance to hear a hole.
We don't have any more whole donations yet, but I would really love to see some.
It's a
because
low
I wanna
chance,
know
but you
what
gotta
these
roll the
sound like.
dice.
It's well worth it, chat.
So we have now purged 2 temples. made at least 2 towns safer.
But there's still more to go.
Yes. Now we are going to go back to Jose, where we got sniffed by that weird guy before. So here, the Albed, which is Riku's people, are trying to defend the population, but I think Yuna with the catnip is gonna stand a better chance here. Oh, there's also, speaking of gambling, there's another fun gamble that we have here.
Pedestal?
Yes. When we, I was gonna say descend, but I think we actually ascend here, right? With this platform coming up? This is not a skip.
I think so.
This is one of these unskippables. But when we ascend into the temple, there are going to be a series of pedestals. Only one of them is going to open the place that we want to go. I always start with the far left. We've got a donation?
We have another raid, actually.
Oh, another raid!
That one, Cloud, thank you for the raid. Thank you for bringing your community in. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Final Fantasy X-2.
A game about holes and massages.
Mm-hmm. You missed the massage, but there's
sniffing
plenty of holes to
people?
go. Oh! Second...
Center left.
Second
Not
try.
bad.
Not bad.
We just always try to avoid the far right because it is the last, and also far right is the worst.
Yes. But sometimes that's what you end up with, unfortunately. Okay, so this fight is going to be very similar to the other ones, but we are going to try to steal something. We're going to try to steal these sprint shoes. Kind of similar to the running shoes that Cecily got in her run. It is going to... So currently we're on... All the girls are thief because it gives them first strike. So we get a preemptive attack. Sprint shoes is going to let us do that on any job. And that's going to let us switch to gunner to go blammo. Oh!
So this is the first boss in the game that has...
I accidentally killed her already.
Uh-oh.
I didn't think that would do that much damage.
The first boss that has over 10,000 health, I believe. So it's the first one where we actually need both of Yuna's attacks to hit in order to kill it in one go.
Yep, so I kind of stagger. I kind of like let her take a first hit and then I go to attack her. Because if I attack Yuna too quickly, she will not get that second thief hit off, and Ixion will not die. That one Cloud you PB'd in your run for tomorrow? Oh, that's so exciting! Congratulations! GG! It's yet another hole.
We've encountered so many at this point.
Pain is telling Riku's like, whoa, it's another hole, and Pain's like, dare you to see what's down there. And maybe we will find out, who knows? Well,
No, Ixion, the thing that
looks like
we
Yuna's gonna
dealt-
find out.
We dealt almost, what, 20,000 damage to it. Massively overkill, but
We didn't.
still able to
we
do
didn't
that.
confirm the kill. So now we have one of the biggest breaks in the game. We've got like almost 5 minutes of cutscenes. Good time to go stretch or just enjoy the story that we've somewhat neglected up to this point.
I mean, there hasn't been too much to it at this point.
Yeah, so Yuna perhaps unwillingly jumped into the hull and finds herself in the far plane, which is a area in Final Fantasy X that is, I don't know how to describe it actually. It's a sort of like the underworld a bit, like it's very close to the realm of, I guess, the line between life and death. People can see reflections of their loved ones who have passed away in this place. And she has transformed into her songstress self. And oh my god, it's Tidus?
Fake Tidus.
Fake Tidus. It looks like him. And she's asking, is that really you? And he's saying, yeah, it's me, Shuyin. Who the heck is Shuyin? This guy is calling her Len, and she's like, what? Shuyin is yapping to her about some shared history that they have, and she's like, who is this guy? Oh my, do I know this guy? So Shuyin's explaining that he intends to use Vegnagun to end this war that he thinks is raging on. And he's embracing her because he thinks that she is Len. And Yuna feels very confused because she feels like she knows this guy. She's very emotionally confused.
Have we covered what Vecnagun is?
I guess I just used the name, whereas up to this point I've been referring to it as a bug kaiju. Yeah, Vegnagun is the giant monster that we saw that has been rampaging through Spira, creating holes everywhere. So here is Baralai. The veil has been lifted a bit, and we see that he has been possessed by Shuyin. And he is on a mission to find Vegnagun and pilot it and basically destroy the world at this point. He's sort of lost his mind. The problem is that anytime you approach Vegnagun, it sort of freaks out and runs away and makes a hole. These guys are giving us some spheres and saying, give these to Pain. And she's like, what? How do you know her? Indeed, Sparky, a hole.
何が起きたのかわからなくて疑問ばかり浮かんできたんだ。でも何よりなんかムカつき。 人が混乱してるところに次から次へと。もうここどこ？
So Yuna's trapped in a hole and she's alone. And we just kind of stand around here because it's faster. It's faster than wandering. We whistle once.
どこ？
You know, I don't know how she ends up here.
It's never explained as far as I know.
The holes are all connected.
And, like she traveled through the far plane? Like,
Yeah, it is
it?
definitely like a liminal space. And that's chapter 3 as well.
So those two guys that gave Yuna spheres are both leaders in some form or another of like fairly large groups around the world.
Right.
And now they've just disappeared.
Just the leader of the youth league, I believe.
What's the sniffer guy's name?
Why am I struggling to remember? Oh wait, wrong way. You get confused on this airship because you are always coming back.
But he's kind of a leader, like maybe not the main leader of the Albed, but
Gipple. He's sort of like an
There we go.
Albed. He's kind of like a younger Albed leader.
Yeah. And then of course Barla, who was taken over by Shuyin and just kind of ran off. So
Yeah, so all the leaders of New Yevon, the Youth League, like all of these nascent sort of world groups are suddenly missing their leaders, and the world is in chaos. Everyone's fighting.
So what do you do when everyone's fighting? How do you bring everyone together?
How do you bring everyone together?
Does chat have any guesses?
Yeah, chat, any guesses? Chat's gonna be like, you start a horse war.
Ooh, crab rave, I like that idea.
So
Long
we're gonna
jog.
check in on all the Wi-Fi that we installed. The Shinra
Spy
Wi-Fi.
cams.
Yeah. You go for a long jog. Yeah, but what about after the long jog? How do you bring people together?
Keeper's got it there.
Dance party? Honestly, yeah. The healing power of dance. So we're just looking at all the webcams and canceling out. This one is actually kind of a nice little break, because Donna is holding the Wi-Fi router and you can't cancel it out until she puts it on her bed.
And do we ever get any indication why she picked it up and is walking around with it?
Well, she talks to us actually after that, so like.
Okay, so she essentially knows what it is then.
Yeah, because she's definitely an ally, right? So she's just like keeping an eye on things for us, I suppose. The Vel Wi-Fi took a second to load there.
We only had one bar.
Yeah. We're gonna talk to Buddy, our pilot. And to organize things, we're gonna need to find a party promoter.
Time to hunt down the nerd.
Yeah. For a second time, Tobly. I don't think did we even say his name the first time when we were shoving him into the locker? And
No,
that
we
went
just
really
called him a nerd,
smoothly.
I'm pretty sure.
That went really
Yeah,
smoothly,
it did.
by the way.
He
It was a
didn't
little
escape
slow,
once. But now he's on a rampage. Or
yeah,
he
now
will
we
be
need to
soon.
chase him down. I don't even know how long this segment is. It's a long jog, as Keeper pointed out. But if you actually like 100% this game, not necessarily perfect numerical 100%, but if you follow all the stories in this game, there's a lot, and you mentioned, Lala, that you missed out on a lot. So did I. Tobly has sort of an arc in the story as an actual party promoter, putting on concerts and things like that. And I don't actually know if he's very good at it, but we're gonna help him out.
And he's done something here to piss off these guys.
These are debt collectors. Like that's what
There
I
we
mean.
go. That
He's not
explains it.
he's not super successful. He's got a lot of debt. He's done too many whole redemptions.
Well, I wouldn't advise going into debt for whole redemptions. I would advise donating if you are able for some whole redemptions.
Only if you're able. Tobly's like that drill tweet showing like a family budget, and it's like, I spent $10,000 on whole redemptions, please. I can't feed my family, someone help me with my budget. He has evaded the debt collectors, though. So
Maybe
far.
we can finally sit down with him and talk to him for a little bit, right?
I think there's a couple more, like some of them have there are a lot of debt collectors.
So many.
With really amazing run animations.
You know, for being such a small guy, he moves really fast.
Well, listen, and I feel it in the start of chapter 2 when I need to shove him into the elevator. He's really fast. He has stolen someone's hover, sinking him further into debt. His family will never recover.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, with how much debt he's in, he needs like one big, massive show to really, make that
all
money.
of Spira is gonna need to attend his next show.
Every single person.
Yeah, and he crashed the hover, by the way, and thankfully no one was injured. The high fellows are just vibing out.
Are we sure no one was injured? Because there was originally 3 high pillows there, and now there's only 2.
Oh my god, wait, I never noticed that. That's dark. Oh no. Tobly crossed the river, so we're gonna take a
What?
feel bad. I shouldn't skip their dialogue. It's too fun.
It's so good.
But we're gonna ride the Shupuff across the Moonflow to continue our pursuit of Tobli.
Look at that little proboscis on it.
So the debt collectors have not totally given up. There are 2 left here. How did he get up in a tree?
Tobli's magic, okay?
Clearly.
The only explanation at this point.
Clearly.
I feel like we've seen him teleport, so...
1 debt collector remains. Zero debt collectors remain.
Just releases a shoe pop.
Yeah. Honestly, a menace to society.
Let's get him. He'll help us out.
It's a bit of a, like, you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours situation. We're gonna help him get out of this oppressive debt. Because we're gonna put on a show.
I have to know, does it ever say the exact amount that he's in debt?
I don't think so. I think it leaves it to your imagination.
Aw, I was hoping we could calculate it.
Because it's like it's so many different debt collectors too, from different agencies with different uniforms. And that's it. Walking simulator complete. Oh. Oh my god, I confirmed the dialogue here instead of skipping, but now we get to hear more Hypello. I planned this. Alright, well, we'll skip it. Here the Hypello are diving off because they are employed by Tobli as promoters underneath him. Apparently they can dive and be totally fine, so I'm hoping that none were injured in the hover accident. Now we are descending into the cabin once more for dance practice.
This is a kind of headphones warning. There will be some mashing, and each time Grim mashes there will be a sound. It can get a little loud, so just a heads up.
This is totally unnecessary, by the way. It's just for fun.
We have a target we're trying to hit.
We do, we do. In the North American version of this run, you do need to get above a certain number to get an item. We're just doing it for fun. Ah, 712. So I and my friends like to try to get it as close to 666 as possible. That was not bad, but it was I went a little too fast.
You were a little fast there in the beginning.
I slowed down, but not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the North American version, you need to get over 250 points, which is honestly quite easy, because that gives you an item that you need in the end game in that version. We kill everything so quickly in this version that we don't need it.
Well, I have good news. We have a $5 donation from Holly, who says, as a fan of Silent 4, I will donate for holes. Thank you, Holly.
All right, let's see.
The hole we found
Damn,
is
so
so
deep.
deep.
I was really hoping for a
No
hole.
hole. But I will say that that $5 did go toward death. So War is still in the lead with 57.72.
Death is a
And
pretty
Death-
strong candidate.
Yeah,
could
Death
get
is in
behind
second
that.
place with $13.
Okay.
So it's closing in.
Keeper, did you hear a hole?
Did you?
Okay.
There was a hole. That's so exciting. Oh, I gotta do a menu here. So distracted by hole. So we are going to switch to Gunner because we're gonna go blammo now because we got the sprint shoes, which are gonna let us take our first turns. And Riku just gets an item that will boost her strength a little bit.
The reason we switched to Gunner is because Gunner has an ability that allows you to do more than 2 hits, which was what the Thief was doing. And so that
Yes.
means even more quad 9 damage.
Yeah, which will be necessary because enemies are gonna have more than 20k at a certain point. Keeper, thank you for letting us know. I think that when we were adjusting things, maybe I lost my my ability to hear them, but I'm glad you guys did.
So we
And
come
I'm glad
here.
there was a hole. Sorry, go ahead, Lila.
So yeah, we're coming here because in order to throw this big concert, so that's what we're doing. We're throwing a big concert to bring everyone together.
Yep.
We need a place where everyone can actually fit. And so they decided that, you know, the big open area that has lightning strikes all the time would be the best place to do that.
Naturally.
So we
Wouldn't
now have to go.
Wouldn't you
make
like to
it
go to a
safe be
concert here?
Yeah. So there was that big dragony looking thing, and we definitely can't have innocent civilians coming around this place if that dragon's running around. So
Oh
gotta
yeah,
go take care
dude,
of
I'm
it.
so speedrun brained. I was like, why do we kill this thing anyway? We are making
I'm
the
surprised
Thunder
I
Plane
remember.
safe. No, it's very logical when you think about it. I'm just like, well, I don't know. I'm just here to kill stuff.
I mean, yeah, we're here to make the Thunder Plains safe from this one monster, but not all the lightning strikes.
Well, that's what the like poles are for, right? I think it's like, because I don't get struck by lightning the way you do in Final Fantasy X, so I think it's like scary but safe.
I don't know if I remembered that. I guess you're right. Like, they actually do have the lightning rods out there now. It's not like in 10 where you have to dodge the lightning.
All right, oh, we got a crit. Don't. All right. So this fight is a bit annoying because you need 2 attacks on Yuna, so both girls chaining with each other on her. But you need a crit. Yuna will not get into critical health unless one of the girls deals some amount of critical damage to her. So thankfully that happened in this case. Sometimes you'll get really good RNG and Riku will spawn behind Yuna in that fight, and that geometry means that Riku actually would have dealt double damage, which would have been nice.
Which is something that you realized just fairly recently, that you also can do back attacks on your own character.
Yeah, like, so when you're calculating damage in this game, if you attack something from behind, it'll do double damage, but I didn't think about that in terms of like attacking my own party members until pretty recently. All right, so
Brother's running around like a maniac.
yeah, we have made things safer. And Tobli and the Hypello have successfully gotten all these people to come to the Thunder Plains for this big concert that we're hoping is gonna calm things down a bit. But they're all fighting! Why can't they just get along? So, we can't wait any longer. These people are going at each other's throats. We require the healing power of song. So we're gonna have one more cutscene skip, and then you guys are going to get the second concert of the run. And I'll mostly let you enjoy this.
I will be taking a break right now.
Yeah, this is a good
Get up
time
and
to stretch
stretch.
your legs, listen to the music. The clouds are parting. That's the magic of song.
Stop the fighting and stop the lightning.
Yeah, so you see Yuna crying there. What's happening is this dress sphere that she has, the songstress dress sphere, is imbued with some pretty strong emotions that are resonating within her. because that dress sphere belonged to this summoner who lived 1,000 years ago named Len, which is a name that we've heard before. She was basically like a summoner, but like also a really popular musician, like actually a pop star. And her lover, Shuyin, well, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So Len was a pop star, but she was also a summoner, and when there was this Machina war that happened 1,000 years ago, she was expected to fight on the front lines, and Shuyin, her lover, just like could not stand this. And so he learned about Vegnagun, and he has, you know, like, and even back then wanted to use it for his own purposes so that Len would be saved. And because Yuna, I mean, Shuyin even literally looks like Titus, which is Yuna's lover. So there's this like really strong emotional connection that's resonating. And this unresolved like love story from 1,000 years ago, these souls that haven't been able to rest, there's a chance that we might be able to put them to rest now by like defeating Vegnagun, taking this out of the picture, and hopefully Shuyin and Len will finally be able to rest in peace. It's a bit of a convoluted story, but like I have a really hard time not tearing up during that musical number.
That's definitely not the reason why I walked away.
Yeah, we were all just like sobbing. It's really beautiful, both in English and Japanese. I think it's just such a beautiful song. And definitely, like, the story of this game is a bit like wacky and convoluted, but I still really like it.
So one of Shinra's little gadgets was able to somehow find these two, and so they're talking to us through it a little bit.
Yeah, so they're like they're still in the far plane where Yuna fell down initially. And so we're gonna find a hole, and we're gonna go find them, because that's where Vegnagun is too. So everything's popping off down in the far plane.
Oh, and LeBlanc is really pissed off here because she's got this huge crush on Nuge. And he was about to say something about her, I believe.
Yeah, yes. Well, I think yeah, I think Gipple was like, "What about LeBlanc? Like, are you just gonna leave her?" And he started to answer, and then the signal cut out. So she's like, "What the heck? I'm going there right now."
How this thing actually creates any kind of thrust and flies, I don't know, but
it just looks cool. That's the purpose. And that's the end of chapter 4, and now we're on to the final one, which it always still gets me really nervous, even though I'm gonna be like doing safety saves and stuff. And like it's much safer in this version of the game, but I'm still nervous. So I will save using the save sphere here. And then we'll pick our hole to descend into. So all these holes that we've discovered, we can choose to go in either one. We just choose the Besaid hole because I don't know if it's just because it's the first one, or if the other ones are more convoluted, have more enemies or something. I don't know. All I know is how to go fast.
We just do what the route that someone else wrote tells us to do.
Right. It's the speedrun way. So here is our chosen hole. Everyone in this game is capable of just death-defying jumps. Yes, Jerica. Jerica in the chat is another runner of this game. Definitely worth a follow. We love her.
I didn't realize that Jerica had that emote. I think I need to go sub.
A Lala emote? Oh, yes. So there's another chance for Riku to spawn behind Yuna here. I'm hoping for that. Let's see. She did. So... Oh! I'm so
Oh, no.
silly. That's
Well,
okay.
she's not behind her anymore.
Yeah, she sure isn't. Oh. Oh. Well, you know,
What are you doing, Shiva?
she might be dead. Okay, she's not. But she... I need to kill her.
It's like a stop or frozen status there.
Yeah. Well, that was fun. Oh, man. I was so excited about the back attack. Let's just pick up Riku for safety. I'm hoping that my trigger happy doesn't get interrupted here. There we go. Okay. That was a totally unnecessary level of panic. Alright, so from here on out, we don't want to like touch this save sphere to save. Like, we could if we wanted to be like legit, but we'll just use safety saves so that we don't get Yuna out of crit.
The sisters.
This fight is actually still pretty scary. Because there are 3 of them and they can... This is like a point in the run where it is we who can be stun locked. Oh shoot, wait, what? Oh, I thought this was a bomb. Ooh. This is...
You have to S-bomb them, right? Like, you can't,
Yeah,
you can't leave them up.
But I have to... I need an S-bomb later, too. Oh. Okay. We'll see. This might make Vegnagun interesting, because I thought that I had 2 bombs.
So the reason the sisters can be annoying is because they don't follow the standard ATB rules, and they can just get tons of attacks off.
Yeah, they have specific attacks that have like no wait or charging time, and so they can just spam them on you and stun lock you in the short amount of time that you give them to act. I'm trying to think of what I'll be able to do on head now. Because I need an AoE for that as well.
Does Gunner have any AoE abilities that you could learn from the
I don't
AP
think
you get
so.
from these
I'm
fights?
trying to think if I might be able to put something on her that.
すみません。
Trying to think if there's something I could put, like if I could put the fire ring back on. But then I would lose my first strike. Alright, we have defeated all of the Dark Aeons. And now we're in the pretty part of the fart play now, the part with flowers. And LeBlanc's team is here scouting things out for us. Hey, Tulip. I'm a little frightened about how Vegnagon might go. I do have, like, I'm pretty sure I have a save state. Or we could just... The game we might just get the bad ending. That'd be fun too, right? I'm a little scared of the gate here. This gate has been trolling me recently.
It absolutely cheats.
Okay, well, at least that one doesn't trigger a super boss fight. Now we have a little piano mini game. Yes, we're in the troll gate part. It makes me so mad. I literally will practice the gate, and it still gets me.
So normally we'd have to run around and step on certain platforms to learn that tune, right? But here, because we know it, we just put it in and that shuts the gate down for us and we can just walk through.
Yeah, like there are little platforms you can step on. I'm not quite sure how you put the song together sequentially. There is another musical puzzle coming up after this, but we literally don't care. We're just gonna bypass it and choose to fight a super boss with almost 150,000 HP instead.
Because we have Catnip. Sound of those heels running on that platform. So good.
It is a very pleasing sound. So we've discovered Gipple. Who has given Pain a sphere. And she's like, I'll watch it later. And Yuna's like, no, you should watch it now. So we get a little bit of Pain's backstory with these guys. They used to be homies.
空飛ぶ船かな。さっきあんたが話してたやつ。本当にあるなら飛ばしてみたい。
じゃあ君が操縦士だ。僕は広報士でもやろうかな。機関士は俺に任せとけ。ヌージは？
船長。
ああ、向いてそうだ。素人に船を任せるとはな。
I think what I'm gonna do on Head is just...
それらしく見えるって。
ぴったり。
Because there are two parts of Vegnagun that you have to attack in order to be able to attack Head. I think I'm gonna have to attack them separately and hope hope that we don't
Hope
die.
the unit
But
survives.
we might. We might.
あの時の私はいせん
So we get a tutorial for this little music puzzle, but we do not care.
This music puzzle is long and annoying.
It's pure mental anguish.
You have to ride through all those different platforms, ride them in the right order, in the right direction, and if you step on the wrong one, it screws you all up. You
Yeah, you have
over.
to reset it. It's so terrible.
Instead, we do 2 of these attacks, and that's it.
And it is dead. So now we're gonna get a bunch more cutscenes, and then we're going to fight Vegnagun, and Yuna's gonna be in critical HP this whole time until the last 2 fights. So we don't really have too much to worry about. I am worried about the last one though. Just goes to show you can't have too many safety bombs. You looked and there's no pickups or easy steals here. Yeah, I even looked for like grenade steals or pickups like earlier on when I realized that I might not have enough. And it didn't seem easy.
動き出した
I really blame that one scuffed Ormi and Logos fight that forced me to use one of the grenades.
I think you actually used 2 grenades during that fight.
Yeah.
What?
That was I think maybe like I'll have to watch it back. Definitely some of that would have been like just marathon distraction. But it was pretty rude.
嘘
運次第では死にはしないが体は役立たずになる周囲はバラライを捨てるはずだそこを俺の体に戻す
So New Cheer is explaining that he has rigged his body with bombs and he's gonna go blow up his friend Barreleye and take Shuyen with him.
やっぱり あんたが
We're getting towards the end here.
船長だろ
It's everyone's final chance of getting some hole attempts in.
Mm-hmm.
I see there are just some new poles and targets added. Z, you want to talk about those a little bit?
There are. We have a new
納得しないで
poll for VR chat, the back rooms. Choose your VTuber dragon skin. We have light mode, which is baby blue and white, and dark mode, which is black and green.
だって
And we now have a
2年前
new
の私たちと
open
変わらないから
target as well for Minecraft. Let's make the world's fastest Happy Meal is the incentive, and
I love
it is
that.
$30 total. So get your donations in, and right now you get a 2 for 1. You get to put it through to one of these incentives, and you get a possible whole redemption. So it's worth it. Donate now. Let's see if we can hit that 900 before the end of this run. We've got about 20 minutes
我慢
left.
して覚悟して受け入れるって決めていた逃げたり目を背けたりとか絶対しないって思ってただけど熱くなって 苦しくてごめん。みんなは褒めてくれたんだ。頑張った。すごい。よくやったって。
So as Jericho saying, here we are finding out what Gibble and Nuge, what their initial plan was here. I don't remember exactly what it was, but Yuna is just saying she doesn't like that plan and she's gonna do something different.
Yeah, she doesn't like, because she's reflecting on how in Final Fantasy X, they lost a lot of people, including, you know, her Aeons, who were like an extension of herself in a way. And she's saying like, oh, everyone said like it had to be this way, like there had to be sacrifice. And she's like, no, I think this plan sucks and I think we can find another way.
仕方ない。どんなことも仕方がない。おまじないみたいに何度も何度も繰り返すんだ。
Nuge is all ready to blow himself up and she's like, that's stupid actually. Don't do that.
後悔だけ。
Instead, I have catnip.
もうそんなのは嫌。誰かが死ぬとかいなくなるとか最初から決まってる戦いは嫌なんだ。ヌージさんが本気だってことはよくわかりました。その心意気を私に預けて。
And Nuge is like, okay.
どんなに
始める。
The whole gang's together.
ベグナ。な。
I can no longer hear this song without hearing Yuna singing it in my head.
La la la. And so Nuge is saying like, all right, because we're pretty confident we can take it down because it's just a machina. And Riku says, you know, people built it. We can take it apart. And Nuge is like, okay, but what's your plan B if we can't do that? And Yuna's answer is love, which LeBlanc is 100% on board with. The power of love has got us this far.
This instrument that starts off as a piano and then transfers to an organ is amazing.
It's incredible. I am also mentally preparing for the fact that the end might be... We might get the bad ending.
Hey,
but I'll prepare. It is an ending, so I will prepare the tech team with a countdown in case that ends up being the situation. But we're still a bit away from that.
Time to kill the mecha cockroach.
Yeah, Jerica, I love... LeBlanc is amazing. I love that she's such a sucker for love. The music in this game is also so unlike most other Final Fantasies, in a way that is sometimes very jarring and disturbing, but I'm into it. There's so much anxiety music.
kind of disappointed they don't have the girls in their dress spheres during cutscenes.
またな。
Yeah, that would be a nice detail. You wouldn't think it'd be that hard to render either, but
Yeah,
it
because
might
it's
be,
not
it might be
like-
distracting. Like there's the mascot dress sphere where they're all dressed as there's like a Tonberry costume.
I don't know, it feels
that
pretty
might be
Final Fantasy to me.
that might like destroy the gravity of some of these cutscenes. Yuna in a giant
When you
Moogle
show up
costume.
and move. Yep.
I really like this ending because like in these cutscenes, Yuna is so like in her element. She's such a strong character in Final Fantasy X, but in this, like, a lot of people complain that like, oh, like she's so different, but like of course she is. She has found herself in this game, and it's goofy at times, but I just love it.
Yeah, she's found herself, and she's not under the immense stress of having to save the world until later on in the game.
Yeah, until later, but see, she's under that stress, and now she's like, I got this.
She's like, oh, yeah, no, I had that time. I found myself. Now we're good.
She has such like a happy, infectious confidence that I adore.
ユーナまずいって
Yeah, Jerica makes a good point that like so much of the stress in the original was like the fact that she was going to have to give up her life to save everyone.
蹴られたいかい
生きて帰ったらいくらでも。
That's a lot of pressure.
行こう
Alright, so we are like ascending Vegnagun, destroying its various parts, dismantling it.
That first bit was the tail, and now we're going for a leg.
Yep. They really put in a lot of platforming here. Not many wacky jumps from Yuna though.
なんだ
Our friends are in trouble. We have to save them. They did their best.
ここは譲ってやるよ私は旦那の応援だお願い
They did their best, and now comes the catnip.
They were just there to delay things.
Alright, that was the leg, and now we're gonna keep on moving on. We defeat one leg, like it doesn't have others. Maybe that was just the one that was blocking our path.
お先に
Only one that's in the way.
Yeah. More friends. Enemies become friends.
Where's LeBlanc, though?
How many times did Ormy kill me in this run? Like 4?
I mean, how many times did you kill him in this round?
Okay. That's an impressive rocket launcher.
だいぶ削ったんだけどな。
とどめは任せて
頼む。
This is my first time listening to this with headphones on, and I'm hearing like the faint background vocals in this music. And it's
Oh, it's
wild.
great. I actually really like this track. Oh, we don't hear it for very long.
注意
So we're gonna have about 2.5 minutes of cutscenes now. Great time for any holes or for another stretch break if any of you need it. And then we're gonna see if we save the world or not. I honestly have no idea.
I'm excited to find out, but in the meantime, is it okay if I remind everybody who we are raising money for?
Please, perfect time.
Awesome. We are raising money for I Support the Girls. I Support the Girls is a nonprofit that uses an international network to provide essential items to struggling women and folks around the world. Collect locally, donate locally is the driving methodology behind the affiliate network at I Support the Girls. Each affiliate utilizes individual regional knowledge to determine the best donation points and collection methods to serve the unique community. Please get your donations in. We have about 5-ish minutes left on this run, I believe.
Should be.
That is enough time to get some more whole redemptions in. So get those donations.
We can honor whole redemptions at the end of the run too, if they come in during this time.
Awesome.
All right, Vegnagun is fully activating here. This is a wild design. We had some great enemy designs earlier in Final Fantasy IX, and this is just something else. It is.
Maybe it's designed like a cockroach because cockroaches can survive anything.
Ah, yeah.
Giant mouth cannon, though, is very disturbing.
Yeah, it unhinges its jaw to release this cannon. So this fight, we're gonna need to get Yuna into crit again. We could very easily die here, and there is no backup. So, but we do get an ending here. Win or lose.
Is this the first Final Fantasy to have multiple endings?
Okay, so let's try this. Ah, it revives them. Oh, but wait, can I? Oh, I didn't. Oh, I didn't trigger happy. What am I doing? Oh, I'm so nervous.
Oh, no. You got this.
Let's see. Let's go. Oh my god. Is that actually gonna work?
Is it just stealing MP?
MP and HP.
Okay.
Oh my god, that worked? No way.
Nice.
I didn't actually know what sequence might happen there. I did not have a bomb to take out those two redoubts that you need to access the true boss, Vegnagun's head in the middle. And Vegnagun revived them, but we could still access the head. So after some initial jitters, I was able to trigger happy kill it. So it looks like we'll get looks like we'll get an ending that is not Spirit being destroyed. Yuna is looking a bit ethereal here because, you know, this being the far plane, there's a lot of spiritual energy here. She is manifesting the spirit of Len, who she has a bit of a bond with. In the hopes of convincing Shuyan to abandon this path and just pass on.
Shuyin.
Len?
あなたに伝えたいの。1000年届かなかった言葉。
I also didn't get a chance to point it out, but we've heard some voices in the background. Actually, they've all heard them, not just Yuna. The voice of
最後まで
Yuna's
一緒に歩け
father,
て
Braska, and others sort of cheering them
嬉し
on.
かった。
I've always interpreted that as like they're in the far plane, so
君を救えなく
they're
て
close to this. They're in the spirit realm functionally.
もう一人で悲しまないで
Yeah, don't they give you like hints on how to defeat Leg
They do.
when you're not just blasting it?
Yeah.
Because the
The
different lights
core
on
is
the
the one.
leg mean
Yeah,
different things.
Jekt on the English version will be like, the core is your target. Which is really annoying in a speed run when you know what you're doing and he just won't shut up.
消えていいんだな
Exactly, Jerica knows. Jerica's like, yes, it's very annoying. Because those voice lines pause ATB, so you can't actually progress the battle until they're done yapping at you.
違う
Uh-oh, he saw through it. It's not Len.
He knows. He knows.
Why is Riku like invisible typing?
That's the classic Riku animation, the paw typing. Alright. So time is going to be coming up soon when our health bars disappear. Assuming I don't have to redo this, we'll see.
心を閉ざしてる
もうやめて周囲
Okay. That's time! Yay! We defeated our evil boyfriend! Alright, that is Final Fantasy X-2. Thank you everyone! This was actually my first marathon, so I really appreciate being here and see if there are any last minute donations for Hull Redemption.
No last minute donations, but I do want to congratulate you on doing your first marathon run. It's
Thank
always so
you,
nerve-wracking,
thank
and
you.
you
I
did an
know.
incredible job.
I made some silly mistakes for sure, which is why I'm so happy that we could finish and get the good ending.
And it
Yeah,
looks
you
like
did
it came in
wonderful.
just on estimate too.
Yeah,
3, 10,
that's
12.
that's amazing considering how wacky some of these fights were. But yeah, I appreciate having this spot. I appreciate this event for existing. Lala, if you have any parting words, go ahead.
I'm just happy that I got invited and I could be here to help support such a good cause. Thank you all for having me.
Yeah, thanks for having me too.
やっとだね
Awesome. Thank you both so much. That was an incredible run. It was a lot of fun. Everybody, please stick around. We have more event to come.
やっとこ
We're
れだ
going to
け
go to break for just a little bit, but we'll be right back.
これだけ